What's going on, everyone? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today we are taking a look at some great EDC knives that are available right now. While we're getting started, let us know down in the comments what your EDC is for today. The first knife we're going to take a look at is one coming in from Petrified Fish. This is called the Rogue, and I think this has been a huge sleeper. I picked this knife up last year at some point and was really pleasantly surprised with this knife. And not that Petrified Fish hasn't done some really good things. It's just they've continued to do those and make things better and more refined. We're still looking at 154 cm for the steel choice here, which they use a lot of K110. They use 14C, but on this particular one, we're looking at 154. Nice satin finish. Good sharpening choil, great access to the liner. It has a chamfer. We have G Mascus here for our handle material and back spacer, lanyard hole for lanyard fans, steel liners, of course, with internal milling. And then we have a deep carry, right hand only pocket clip, and the screws are recessed. Really, it kind of reminds me of a Nessmuck in a way. And I think that might be its intention to kind of be like a Nessmuck. But the way this flares out, it kind of curves down and then this flares out. It just fits in my hand really, really well. And the handle thickens out, just fills out my hand great. If you have a little bit larger hands, you'll appreciate a knife like this. Petrified Fish is a company who just quietly keeps getting it done. And if I didn't say, I'll have all these knives linked down below in the description. The next knife we're taking a look at is the Free Tiger FT2103. And this is a more recent design from them. They're a newer company who don't put a ton of stuff out, but this is one of their later designs, if you could say that. We're looking at D2 steel. We have a PVD coated drop point blade, nice little flat rolling into a swedge here, decent sharpening choil. We're looking at textured G10, and these are going to be very affordable. It depends on the variant that you pick up, but these are going to be under 30 bucks typically, which is a great price for D2 and G10. We have steel liners, internal milling. We have a deep carry clip. The screws are not recessed into our pocket clip, but there's pretty good room in there depending on the thickness of your pants, of course. But I'd like to see those recessed. But for such an inexpensive knife, I can't harp on that a whole lot. Now, it is going to be right-hand carry only, so no lefty love, even though we have a crossbar lock and thumb studs. That is called growing pains, and all companies go through that. And I expect them to kind of reconcile those types of things here in 2025. But for a right-hander or just someone looking for a basic pocket knife that'll get the job done, not going to cost a ton of money, the 2103 is a great little folder. Next up, we have the CJRB Maximal, and they've had a couple of cool little budget knives come out here in February. The Maximal is one of them. The Cane is another one, and depending on what you like, they might be a great option. The Cane's a little bit more of a gentleman style folder, but I would say both of these knives are designs that are intended for anyone to pick up and be able to use and operate the knife, any size hand. And the Maximal here, I initially wasn't, real hyped on this knife. And not that I'm extremely hyped now, but I do understand the design intent behind this knife. And there's nothing wrong with something being for everyone and being very casual. One thing is for sure, though, the knife is going to work. And, I have an XL hand. These contoured micarta handles. They are comfortable, and you can kind of choke back a little bit. You're going to fall off the handle depending on your size, the size of your hand. But that does seem to be pretty comfortable to kind of hang off the back. I consider this more of a secondary sized folder, kind of a backup or fifth pocket knife. We're looking at RPM 9 stonewash drop point blade, micarta, and a steel clip. They have G10 as well, and that clip is going to be reversible. They do recess those screws as well, so plenty of room in there. Crossbar lock action is phenomenal from CJRB. So if you're kind of getting tired of a liner lock, then a crossbar lock might be the thing you're looking for, and it keeps your fingers out of the pathway of the blade, so a lot of people really enjoy that. Sharpening choil is good to go as well. The Maximal, a very simple design, but one that's going to work well. Next up, we have the Kaiser Assassin, and a little asterisk here for anyone interested. They have the button lock Assassin with this carbon fiber, and it's in 154 cm right now as of recording this for $40, which is insane. 154 cm, forget the handle material. It is laminated carbon fiber over steel, but it looks pretty good actually. And for $40, you can't complain. It is a button lock though. Now, the version I have here, the Kaiser Assassin, we are going to be looking at Nitro V. We are going to be looking at a laminated silver twill carbon fiber over a steel and G10 liner combo, and we have a steel backspacer here with a lanyard hole. We are looking at a really nice deep carry clip, steel rollover, and it is going to be reversible. And of course, we have Kaiser's fantastic crossbar lock here that is adjustable, so you can strengthen it or lighten it up if you choose. And then that satin finish on that drop point blade in Nitro V with a nice sharpening choil. This is just a great little EDC knife. Depending on where or when you get these typically range between $60 and $70. But as I said, they do have a button lock variant in 154 that is under $40 right now. Next up, we have one of my favorite knives of the last couple of years when it comes to a budget knife. We're talking about the Ray Laconico designed, Civivi built Sakoki, and these come in at like $60 right now. We have 14C, nice drop point blade. They have a couple different versions, where the only knock on this knife is the lack of sharpening choil there, but not the end of the world. You can notch your own in. We are looking at dual thumb studs and a front flipper tab with extremely good action here. Ray Laconico design front flippers work extremely well. Very, very good detent. Closing action is money. Thumb stud placement is very good, and you can get a ton of leverage on those. We're looking at burlap micarta here for the handle material and backspacer. We have a deep carry clip that is recessed, and it is going to be left-hand friendly. $60, a good size. Not quite a full size. It's getting there. You could say full size, but going to be a great size right here, and in really good materials, backed by a solid company, under a solid design from Ray Laconico, the Civivi Sakoki. That's why it's still around, because it's phenomenal, and I still agree. Next up, I got to show a little bit of love for the fixed blade crew as well, and for that one here, at least for the micro EDC fixed blade, we're looking at the Kaiser Muskrat D. Sharon design. There's several different variations you can get, but the point of this knife is to be slim and minimal, and man, does it do a good job, but still aiding a larger hand. It comes with this taco sheath, which is very skinny and short. Comes with this belt clip / pocket clip, and as far as retaining the actual knife, it does a good job at that, but not going to retain the knife like an Alti clip or something like that would. Nice little ramp here to push off, and you have your standard grip as you come out of the sheath, which is something I really like. This one's in D2 with G10. You have a little lanyard hole here, but like I said, these come in a wide range of different steels and different handle materials, but this is going to stay the same out of the box, and this won my micro EDC fixed blade of the year. That's how much I like the Muskrat. Definitely a great little EDC fixed blade to get yourself started or continue on and find the proper EDC fixed blade. A knife that recently has blown me out of my socks, so to speak, has been this Trivisa Hornet here. This is a great design, especially if you like a little heftier knife and you have maybe a little bit larger hands. The Hornet here is going to be coming in 14C28N, nice PVD coated drop point blade, nice sharpening choil. Thumb studs are well placed, and the crossbar lock action is phenomenal on this thing. You have plenty of room to get up underneath these studs if you want to reverse flick or thumb flick this thing. We are looking at aluminum overlays on top of the steel liners here. We have these FRN inlays on top of the aluminum, and it gives you a nice texture. It's not overly grippy, but it does provide a little bit of grip on maybe a slippery surface for some. I've never found aluminum to be slippery, but for the people who have, this is going to provide some nice traction for you. You have a little hidden lanyard post back here in the back spacer, and we're looking at a very clean, well done pocket clip here. This is perfect from tip to butt. This is a great little pocket clip here. If this was just a hair shorter, and that's getting extremely nitpicky. I'm talking like, very, very minimal amount. But design, aesthetic, the way it's executed, very good, and it's going to be reversible, so lefties can get all the love out of this thing as well. This is a good size. It's got a little bit thicker handle, got a little bit of heft to it, but man, the Trivisa Hornet, probably my favorite design from them yet. Next up, got to show some love for the straight up fifth pocket knives, and for that one, we're going to be taking a look at the Real Steel Viz here, and this has been a pretty popular knife amongst the crowd out there, right? And I have to agree, I'm not much for fifth pocket knives, but this one works. And the way this is all designed, the Viz here, we have 12C27N, which is great, 14C's brother. We're going to be looking at a satin finish, nice drop point blade, full finger choil here, and we have a cutout for deployment. Even though I have an XL hand, if I use that choil, I can get a full grip on this bad boy here. And that is outstanding for the size of this. I mean, look at that profile. And for me to be able to get a full grip on it because of that choil, it just works really, really well. They have different micartas. Mine is the natural variant, and we have a Taco integral liner here, which is made out of steel. That is one solid piece of steel wrapped around, which is going to be stronger than two separate pieces of steel held together by standoffs. So that makes the knife a little bit more rigid and comfortable because this is acting like a backspacer. And then we have a nice deep carry clip here, and that is going to be reversible for lefties out there. And we have an included lanyard hole here for the lanyard fans. Crossbar lock action is phenomenal on this little guy. Like I said, I'm not much for fifth pocket knives, and people who watch my channel know that. But there are times I make exceptions, and for something like this, where I can get a full grip on it, and the 3-finger grip is really comfortable as well, this would make a nice little fifth pocket secondary type backup knife. Next up, we're taking a look at a full-size EDC fixed blade, I would say. This is the Real Steel Dex. Comes with this pocket clip here and a nice Taco Kydex sheath. Nice thumb ramp here. Fantastic execution on this fixed blade from O Stop Hell. Nice drop point, satin finish, K110. Real Steel does a great job with that Bowler K110. And then they have a couple different variations that you can choose from. This is actually a 2-piece handle. So we have a micarta and micarta version here with a burlap natural type look and held on there by torque screws. Crowned here, just beautiful, beautiful on this fixed blade. It's lightweight, it's a good size. I can get a full grip on that handle, and then the Taco sheath is executed very well. You could take or leave this type of clip, but for as much as I have used this thing, that clip has worked very well ever since I pulled it out of the box. And if you like this type of knife right here, you are absolutely crazy if you haven't checked out the Vastid Porcupine here. This is this needs an XL first and foremost, but I really like this knife. We're looking at 14C drop point blade, stonewash finish. We have a cutout here for deployment, and we are looking at their button compression lock, which is executed very, very well. Not only do you get a nice strong lock here, but you get all the fun out of a button for disengagement. So you get the best of both worlds. Lots of jimping all the way around, up in your finger choil here, all along the spine, which really makes this knife comfortable in the hand. And then you have a double set of jimping on the spine of the blade, and they fine it up out here for those more precise type tasks. Very well executed. We have a deep carry wire pocket clip here, and it is going to be reversible. We have a lanyard tube here, and then a double standoff. So very rigid in through here throughout this entire knife, to be very prompt with you. But really like the Porcupine. I'd love to see this in an XL variant here. But really big fan of the Porcupine. This is one of my favorite ones from them in quite a while. That'll wrap this one up. You'll have to let me know which was your favorite from today's video. Was it the Porcupine? How about the Hornet? Maybe the Viz? Maybe it's the old school Sakoki? Or you like to go a little rogue with it? Maybe the 2108? How about the very casual Maximal there? Or you could go with the Assassin Crew there. Or you want to go the fixed blade route and check out the Dex or the Muskrat. You'll have to let me know down in the comments which one was your favorite. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. That helps push this video out there to more people, and I really appreciate you for doing so. If you're new to the channel here and you enjoy this type of content, well, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe, because I release daily videos just like this. I'll put up a couple of new ones on your screen right now. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.